Good morning and welcome to the Way of Life Thursday check-in. This is Michael Schechter, and I want to congratulate you on working on week 10 right now. Week 10's materials surround taming temptations, something we talked about a bit last week. The idea of the care mnemonic: control your environment, allow for indulgence and moderation, remember your goals, and explore your food craving to understand where it's coming from. This week's materials also talk about physical versus emotional hunger, which we've talked about, and smart substitutions to satisfy cravings. The daily challenge this week is 20 ounces of water before lunchtime, and that is a great challenge. I hope you're still doing your squats, lunges, and push-ups, because that is a wonderful lifetime habit to get into. The activity this week is to understand and strategize for managing food cravings. So that's the week 10 materials. You're probably already busted into those, but that's really good. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about long-term strategies for weight loss management, and I'm going to bring you results of successful dieters. There's a group called the National Weight Control Registry that has over 10,000 successful dieters who have lost between 30 and 300 pounds and kept that weight off for a prolonged period. So this International Weight Control Registry took surveys to understand the habits of successful weight losers on a lifetime scale. The purpose was to identify and investigate the characteristics of individuals who have succeeded at weight loss, and I'll bring you some of the results, but not surprisingly, they center around many of the habits we've been trying to get you to build over the past 10 weeks. But successful dieters generally eat the appropriate number of calories consistently, and consistently eat approximately the same amount of food every day, and they avoid empty calories. So in other words, they know their calorie budget, something we've worked on a lot, and we want you to understand in depth. Successful dieters eat breakfast consistently to fuel and protect. They practice regular exercise, so that's super important. Remember the 4 aspects of exercise we want you to work on: cardiovascular endurance, strength training, resistance training to build and maintain muscle, balance exercises, and finally flexibility. So successful dieters are active 60 to 90 minutes nearly every day. They weigh themselves weekly, and they take corrective action if they gain a small amount of weight. So they try to stay within a narrow window of weights. They limit their television watching to less than 10 hours a week, and they establish a support network. So they self-monitor and they seek support from other folks. So that's how successful dieters keep it going. And these are strategies I want you to start thinking about as you enter what I would call the maintenance phase of way of life. On the other hand, when we look at people who gained back weight, these are the things we see. We see a pattern of disinhibited eating, that is just sort of eating until exhaustion, and that's a mistake. Now, I know, again, some people have an issue with limiting themselves, so it's really important to stress moderation and stress the importance of exercise and self-forgiveness. People who gain weight back seem to binge eat. They also appear to have excessive hunger, whether it's emotional or physical, I don't know, but clearly they report increased hunger. They eat in response to negative stress and emotions. So these are the things we want you to keep in mind as you consider your success. And these are pitfalls to potentially avoid in the interest of long-term weight gain. So another important aspect to successful dieting is to choose nutrient-dense foods. Now, we've talked about this before, but we have calorie-dense foods that have a lot of calories, but potentially not a lot of nutritional or protective value. And we have nutrient-dense foods, foods that have a lot of nutrients and not a lot of calories for their given amount of nutrients. And these foods fill you up. They provide fiber. They provide often phytonutrients and vitamins that protect you against disease, reduce your risk of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, stroke, those types of things. And they fuel your body and brain for ongoing productive work. Nutrient-dense foods include vegetables, fruits, whole grains. Again, whole grains, watch for that whole grain stamp. Dairy has a lot of nutrients, but be careful of fat and sugar. We want to have low-fat dairy foods if possible. Meat substitutes in the area of protein, so beans, peas, legumes, lentils, nuts, and seeds. We want to have lean meat when we eat meat. We want to have seafood and plenty of eggs. Eggs are great food and don't endanger us really in any way. So these are great nutrient-dense foods to try to get into your diet every day. This is a wonderful book that talks about nutrient density this is the first book that I sort of read when I entered the wellness industry. This is a book by Walter Willett called Eat, Drink, and Be Healthy, and it's a wonderful guide if you're looking for additional help outside the multitude of resources we've already given you. Before we end, again, I want to stress the importance of exercise. This was a study published in the Journal of Obesity in March 2019, and it compared the energy expenditure and physical activity of three groups: those that maintain weight loss, those that didn't have weight loss but maintained a normal weight throughout their lives, and those folks who are overweight. And what they found is physical activity was higher in successful weight groups and maintenance groups than in other groups. And I remind you again, the three elements of metabolism that we talked about: the basal metabolic rate, the thermogenic effect of food, but most importantly, the one under your control, physical activity. So I've already demonstrated how regular physical activity can allow you to eat between 700 and 1,000 calories extra a day without gaining weight if you're a regular vigorous exerciser and you've built the muscle mass, stamina, and endurance to help you burn those excess calories. In conclusion, continue the positive habits you've made during the past 10 weeks. Forgive yourself if you've fallen off a little bit, and remember, human beings are capable of change. Tomorrow's another day. Remember and use these skills that you've acquired and honed. Regular exercise, so key. Staying in the moment, mindfulness, exploring your hunger urges and understanding where they're coming from, using active relaxation strategies, deep breathing, so important. Learning to meditate, very, very helpful. Balance, enjoyment of food with responsible portion sizes and nutritional content. We hope we've taught you to do that. We have coaches and we have registered dietitians who are available to help you if you need additional support. Practice self-forgiveness. You know, everybody has bad days, but don't beat yourself up. Let it go. Remember, tomorrow's another day. Reward yourself and recognize good days. Take a look at your food tracking and pat yourself on the back for those days you've had exercise and 5 produce picks. That is a wonderful day. Plenty of water as well, and doing some relaxation with some healthy sleep makes it a perfect one. So I hope you put together more perfect days as we continue Way of Life and send you off to maintenance. I want to remind you to please track. I think it helps to add accountability. You can only go back for 3 days for tracking purposes. If you are trying to get an incentive for completion of Way of Life, you need to track within 3 days. And again, always practice balance, whether it's balancing intake and exercise or accountability and self-forgiveness. It's important to maintain balance. Thanks for coming. See you next week. Remember, reach out to us anytime if you need help or if you want to share a victory or you're proud of yourself for something, if you lost weight, we love to hear those success stories. In the meantime, remember, we're here to help you and support you, and you can reach out to us at any time at Be Well Solutions. In the meantime, feel free again, if you need any help, to reach out to us. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Good luck.